My heart pounded. I watched the bus pull away. It was the last one. Rain lashed down, soaking me instantly. The streetlights flickered, casting eerie shadows. I was alone. I had to walk home. Thunder rumbled in the distance, each step squished in my wet shoes. Wind howled through the trees, twisting branches into menacing shapes. A shiver ran down my spine. I wished I had never missed that bus.
A dog barked in the distance. The sound was far away, echoing in the night. Sarah quickened her pace. Every shadow seemed to writhe and grow. Her breath formed little clouds in the cold air. Fear tightened its grip. A figure emerged from the darkness. Sarah's heart leapt into her throat. It was an old man standing at the bus stop. He wore a long coat, its collar turned up. His face was hidden in the shadows.
Excuse me, do you know if another bus is coming?
The old man didn't answer. He just stared at her. His silence was unnerving.
Well, thanks anyway.
She turned to leave, but a raspy voice stopped her. "Sarah!" Sarah froze. How did he know her name? Sarah didn't look back. She ran. Rain pelted her face, blurring her vision, but she could hear him behind her. His footsteps were slow, deliberate. He was toying with her. She risked a glance over her shoulder. The old man was closer now. His face was twisted into a cruel smile. His eyes gleamed with an unnatural light. He was enjoying this.
My breath came in ragged gasps. I had to get away, but my legs were heavy and my lungs burned. A wave of dizziness washed over me. I couldn't keep running forever.
Sarah's fear was palpable, and the night seemed to close in around her. A sign flickered in the distance.
Motel vacancy.
Hope surged through Sarah. She veered off the road, her feet slipping on the wet grass. The motel was old, run down, but it was shelter. She burst through the door, the bell above it jangling. The lobby was deserted. Dust motes danced in the dim light. Sarah's eyes darted around, searching for any sign of life. She ducked behind the reception desk, her heart hammering. The sound of the old man's footsteps echoed in the silence. He was here. She was trapped. Sarah held her breath. The footsteps stopped outside the door. Silence. Then a slow, deliberate scratching began. It was coming from the other side of the door. The old man was trying to get in.
"Let me in, Sarah."
The old man's voice. It was closer now, right outside the door. Sarah's eyes darted around, frantically searching for an escape.
There!
A window behind the desk. It was small, but it was her only chance. Sarah scrambled to her feet, knocking over a vase. It shattered on the floor with a deafening crash. The scratching stopped. Adrenaline surged through Sarah. She threw herself at the window. It was stuck. She pushed again, harder this time. The window creaked open a few inches. Not enough. A low growl came from the other side of the door. The old man was getting impatient. Sarah threw her weight against the window one last time. It finally gave way, shattering into 1,000 pieces. She scrambled through the opening, ignoring the pain of the broken glass. She didn't look back. She ran as fast as she could, her lungs screaming for air. She could hear him behind her, but his footsteps were fading. She was getting away. Sarah finally reached her apartment building, fumbling for her keys with trembling hands. She slammed the door shut behind her, leaning against it, gasping for breath. She was safe, or so she thought. As her breathing slowed, she noticed something strange. Scrawled on her apartment door in what looked like dried blood was a single chilling message.
"See you soon, Sarah."